Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. And today I just want to go ahead and show you guys, just give you guys a quick smart bedroom tour. Now, tours are really big on YouTube, and I put up a video the other day about my ultimate smart home tour where I showed you some of the things I have in my house and how they work. And today I just want to show you what I've done in my bedroom. And you know what I love about videos like this, and I watch tons of videos like this, is that it gives you ideas and it helps to inspire you for, you know, designing something that's your own taste. And that's kind of like what we do, right? This doesn't have to appeal to everybody. It just has to appeal to me. Now, I'm very happy with my bedroom. I really like what I've done, and I recently uploaded a video about my office on some of the things I'm going to be doing with it. And, you know, and like a home, to own your own home is awesome because it's always like a project. It's always things you're adding to it and changing. And I just want to go ahead and share with you guys a couple of things I have in my bedroom and what I've done. So as you can see, when I walk through this doorway here, this is my upstairs hallway. Okay, I actually have, I removed all the doors because I don't have any need to have doors in my house, and I still have the doors, but I added curtains. So it just gives you a little bit of privacy, gives you the idea of a door, and I think it looks nice. So walking into the bedroom, you'll see I have a king-size bed. Your comforter, of course, that I bought two of these back in the day. These are, I forget who makes these, but I try to salvage it because there's not many comforters I really like out there, and this is my second one. I should have bought more of them because it's just something that, you know, they do. I sleep in this, so they do kind of wear out from time to time. And you know, the last one, all this stuff started to. I actually washed it and it got stuck in the dryer and it burned it. But you know, a lot of this stuff, you know, this is kind of a lace, and it's not, you know, I don't jump on my bed. I don't just, you know, just kind of jump up and down on it where you can rip that stuff. So anyway, moving on. So king-size bed, and I have this headboard that I got from my last job back in the day that was actually missing parts, so I was able to get that for a minimal cost. And so, you know, just, you know, at the time, before when I first bought this place and moved in, I didn't have, you know, a lot of, like, as much, you know, resources as I do now to buy stuff. And so, you know, I didn't really know what my style was going to be like. So some of the stuff I just got, I just kind of made it work, you know. And I'm very happy with the way that it looks in here. I love beige and warm colors, and I like curtains, and I think it looks really good. So as far as the headboard, just kind of very ornate wood headboard. And what I've done is I added an RGB inexpensive LED strip light over the top of that. It had this little ledge right there, worked perfectly for that. And the headboard does actually overhang the windows a little bit, but with the curtains, you don't notice it. From the back of the house, I painted the back of the headboard black, so you wouldn't notice it when you look up at the windows. And so it works really well in this particular room. I have a little bit of a scroll up there, did some curtains. I have the matching curtains throughout the whole house. You know, I always say, when you see something you like, buy a lot of them. So I bought these curtains in black and beige. All they had when they had them, so I have plenty of backup in the event that, you know, I get into a different place one day and have more windows. It's more like a crushed velvet. You know, I think it blends well with the decor of the house. And then I have these string curtains I saw off eBay, really cheap. They just give you a little bit of texture right down the middle, and give you a little bit of, you get light through there, but you get a little bit of privacy as well. You can see my backyard is very private, so you barely have any, you really can't see the house very much here, hence why there's security cameras everywhere, and my neighbors are aware of that as well. Again, I have some stainless steel lamps and these end tables. These are actually end tables from a coffee end table set, but they work well in this room. I didn't want to block the window, and the problem with a lot of end tables that are 4-bedroom sets is that they're higher, and this is crooked, and that's driving me nuts. There we go. Is that they're higher, and I don't want to block the windows because in this room they have to go here. You're kind of limited on where you put your bed. I think this is the best spot for it. Off to the side here, I have a, and the glass is nice too because it makes the room feel bigger because you're seeing through the glass. Okay. So then I have this plant over here, it's fake plant, of course, and then I have a 8-inch subwoofer. That's part of the home theater system in this room. I'll get to that in a second. And then of course I have a mirror over here, and you know, a dresser that I actually got this dresser for free from my last job because it was part of a bedroom set that had been destroyed, and we were instructed to throw it away, so I was able to get that. And what I did is I took a spray gun and I sprayed this with black high gloss piano paint, or not piano paint, high gloss latex. God, I can't talk today. I sprayed this with black oil-based high gloss paint with a car spray gun. I just put some mineral spirits in there to thin it out a little bit, and that's what I did. I added the different hardware. And again, I've had this dresser for over 15 years now. It is something I'll upgrade eventually because I got this dresser again when I didn't know if I was going to have money to buy anything, and I will get something different, but for now, it works and it's functional. And I've added a couple candles on the wall, and of course, a mirror. And of course, a couple of watch boxes with some of my less expensive watches, just to display some of the ones where I first started collecting, in the event that they're not worth really anything, but they're just more for me. With these watch boxes off eBay. And of course, over here, you'll see just a candle, and then I have this X10 Repeater. I'll get to that in a second. And off to the side here, I have a chair, a little plant stand. I put a lamp on it. And in front of the bed, I have this fantastic storage stool here that opens up. And it's great for getting ready in the morning. I don't know why I waited so long to get one. It was like $100 on eBay. And again, I'll put a link in description for all this stuff in the event that you want to go ahead and get it. I've added an inexpensive ceiling fan, which again I'm going to upgrade that eventually, but I got it for like $30 at Walmart, and it's functional, and it works, okay? And of course, we have an electric fireplace. I'll also put a link in description. These are great. What I love about these is they give you the look of a fireplace. You get that ambiance, and you can also throw a little heat in your home. If it gets a little colder. Like at night, I like to turn down the heating system, and so when I'm in bed, I have mounted to the side of the bed here the controller for a king size heated mattress pad. This is great because it takes the chill right out of the bed, and you really can get pretty warm in there. And of course, you'll notice a painting, this kind of cool artwork I have here mounted over the fireplace. And of course, I have the infamous Google Home, a Foobot environment monitor, and of course the Alexa, which is there she is. Cancel.
No messages from today.
Yeah.
For earlier ones,
stop.
go to the Alexa app.
All right. God, always coming on. Anyway, she's actually sitting, the Echo Dot is sitting in a awesome product by Vox. Again, I'll link all this stuff in description, which is a battery-powered speaker, which gives you way better sound for the Echo Dot at a really great price point, like $50, and you can unplug it and take it around your house and it'll work for 4 hours. In the middle there, that's a Foobot environment monitor that detects any kind of it detects temperature, humidity, volatile compounds, dust particles, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide, and one other thing. Check out my video review on that as well. But what we're going to do, I was going to go ahead and tell her right now, it's still, obviously, I set the timer wrong on this. So, Alexa, ask Foobot to turn on the LEDs.
Done.
So, in the LEDs on that tell you what the air quality is like. So, right now, you can see it's max blue. That means the air quality here is as good as, very good. As it starts to drop down towards the bottom, that's when the air quality starts to get poor, and then it'll turn orange. And as that orange gets higher, that's when the air quality is getting really bad. And of course, like I said, you know about the Google Home, so you have music wirelessly. Both those devices will work with music or home control. And then, of course, in these lamps that I have here, I have a couple LifeX Color 1000 bulbs, so I can say, hey Google, hey Google, hey Google, turn on the bedroom light.
Sure, turning on 4 lights.
So you see the two lamps came on. I could have said lamps. You'll just turn on those. Hey, Google, change the color of the bedroom lamps to blue.
Okay, changing 2 lights to blue.
So there you go. So you can see that they're blue. These can be controlled by the app as well. Blue. I don't know if you can see that. On the end table here, I use primarily for mainly when I'm watching anything in this room. I have this awesome product by SideClick. It's a remote that's self-learning. You can learn any infrared code. It clips onto the Amazon Fire Sticks remote, and it gives you the ability to turn on the TV, adjust the volume, some of the features that aren't on the actual remote, so you don't have to have 2 remotes. That's a great product. And of course, speaking of the TV, there she is on the wall. It's a 55-inch Toshiba LED TV. You can see that there's the oddball, not oddball, but if you notice the speakers in the room, I've done all 5.1 Dolby Digital in-wall speakers by Acoustic Audio. The rears, these are really affordable. They're very basic, and I've always said with speakers, you don't have to spend a lot to get great performance. They just have to be tuned well. And so these speakers, for me, I didn't want to do anything that was going to involve, floor standing speakers. I like the audio at this point in my life to not be crazy over the top, but just to sound good and be enjoyable and to be affordable. And so these are fantastic. The sound system in here sounds great, louder than I could ever possibly want it living where I'm living, okay? Down here we have a wireless doorbell. Where there's two of those bells. There's one in my office in the other room. There's one in this room. So I put the bell next to my standard bell because I had a problem with anytime somebody would stop by, I would never hear the doorbell. So now they can press the other doorbell and it'll ring in both rooms. That also has an LED light that will illuminate in the event that I'm playing a movie and cannot hear it. Then in the middle I have here, this is my only option. As far as right now, I may do something different, but there's an Acoustic Research flat panel speaker, which I've reviewed in the past. They're discontinued, which sound amazing. They're affordable, and it's just a surface mount. So it's actually, it's quite a bit thinner than the actual TV. But of course, it works. It's wall mounted, and it doesn't look bad. I would like to have had a matching center channel there, but unfortunately, I have a pocket door, and this pocket door does not allow you to. You need the depth to put an in-wall speaker in there. So speaking of the system, again, 55-inch Toshiba, all right? And then, of course, you come over here, and here's where I have my components. This is where I have a lot of the components to my office and, of course, for my home. So let's see. So we have, again, I'm not a gamer, so I don't really use this stuff, but I have it in the event that I want to. The PS2, I'm going to have to throw away once I redo some of this stuff because it doesn't work anymore. This is going to be part of the actual in-ceiling speaker system I'm going to be doing soon. That's going to be controlled all by Alexa. Good thing she didn't hear me. An old 360 Xbox, which actually does work. An older Xbox, which works as well, although I never play it. This device right here is an X10 Repeater. And so what happens is you guys might be... Let me go here first. So you have a Samsung Blu-ray DVD, which I don't even use. A VCR I barely use. And this is what I do use. This is my home theater Sony Receiver. I forget which model number it is, but it's fantastic. I upgraded from an old Sony, older Sony, and it made the sound quality way better in here. It just was able to calibrate everything perfectly. A networked laser printer, a networked scanner, copier, fax, although... with this particular device, I use a separate fax. In the event that I do want to send a fax, I can with the UMA. It will not work through Magic Jack, so I had to use the UMA in order to send the fax. And I went ahead and, for whatever reason or another, this particular one, if I remember correctly, would not work. It would not send the fax with the UMA, whereas this one was able to. So that's why I have this old school crummy fax there. It was sitting around collecting dust at my parents' house. I said I have a spot for it. In the event I want to send a fax, I can. Eventually, I'll upgrade to an all-in-one and free up some space. So again, and this is a network attached scanner, so if I want to scan a document, I can scan it here and it'll scan to the computer in the other room in my office, okay? And I didn't want to put it out there because this is, in my opinion, this is ugly. This stuff isn't nice to look at, so that's why it's in the closet tucked away. And you guys know, if you watch any of my other videos, I don't like to see components out. I don't really like that stuff, so it looks fine in here, okay? Alright, so with that being said, and then this device here, this is an infrared to RF repeater. And so you might be wondering, well, how the hell do you turn up the audio or change components? Well, what this device does is over on my dresser here, I had mounted, and these, you can still find these. They're just the X10, they're by X10, old technology. And what it does is basically you point your remote at this, it takes that infrared signal, converts it to radio frequency, and over here, this one picks it up with the big clunky antenna and fires that infrared signal to the components. It bounces off the dresser, and of course, it works with all the components. So really, the only thing I really do with the components, because it's not that far from me, I'm not that lazy where I can't just get up and change the input. But if I want to change the input, turn up the volume, or turn it off, I can. That's really the main things I want to do. There's other ways of doing it. It's just how I did it because that's how I had to do it before all the smart home stuff back in the day. So the next part of this here is as far as other smart devices in this room. Again, I pointed out that I have the lamps, the bedroom LEDs, the ceiling fan, the Google Home, the Foobot, the Fireplace, and the Amazon Echo Dot, and there's a light in the bathroom. And there's one other thing I want to show you too. So what happens basically is I can voice control in this room the bedroom lamps, the headboard, the ceiling fan, the fireplace, and the bathroom light, which is a Z-Wave light, okay? And so what I want to do is just kind of demonstrate what they can do. Now, both devices, the Google or the Echo Dot, are linked up to control these. We're going to go ahead and use the Google. Hey, Google, turn on the bathroom. Oh, bathroom's already on. Here's my bathroom.
You got it. Turning on the bathroom light.
Hey, Google, turn off the bathroom.
You got it. Turning the bathroom.
And so what that is just a Z-Wave. And I did a review on the Z-Wave Lightify floodlight. that was only $9. They're discontinued at Lowe's. Oh, and next to that, I actually have that little light bulb right there is an inexpensive eBay speaker light, a Bluetooth speaker. So I can actually say, Alexa, connect to my speaker. Let's go red. There we go. Alexa, connect to my speaker.
Searching.
And so while she's searching, and I may have to turn the light back on, I'll just go ahead and do that. So what happens here, that's what the light looks like. And it'll always
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Okay, so you see that it's ready to pair.
I didn't find any available Bluetooth speakers.
Oh,
Check the speakers
Alexa.
you'd like to use.
Connect to my speaker.
Searching.
So it has a Bluetooth speaker on the inside of the actual light. And what I use it for is just basically a night light. And this may or may not work right now, but... Oh, you know why it won't work, actually? Alexa, cancel. Okay, so the reason it won't work, what I can normally say is, Alexa,
Find any available.
I can have her connect to this speaker and her sound and music will come through here. For instance, if I'm in the bath or want to take a bath or whatever, stop, quit talking. So I can actually connect to the speaker and have music in here running through Alexa. But right now, because I moved the Echo Dot from downstairs to upstairs, I switched them around. I have to re-enter this device to work with this one. So if I did that with the downstairs one, it would connect to this one. Okay. And so basically, it has this remote that comes with. These are really cheap, like under $10. You can just change the color just to whatever you want there. They're very minimal, and you know what? They look pretty good in there. And I just leave it on blue, and when I go to bed, red. You can change the brightness, whatever, you know, play, whatever. But it's nice to just always have this on. It does hardly draws any current, and it's just a nice night light. So in the middle of the night, when I get up to go to the bathroom, whatever, there's a nice red glow in here. So that's about it for that. So and then you saw the Z-Wave bulb. Over here in the fixture, I just have on a dimmer some standard LEDs. You know, they're bright. They hardly draw any power, and of course. That's about it, really, with that. When we come over here, now, these devices are not smart, but with the addition of a Sonoff switch, they are now. So I could say, hey, Google, turn on the bedroom fireplace.
Sure, turning on the bedroom
And the fireplace will come on. I can say, hey, Google. Oh, cancel. And so what I want to show you there is you'll notice the ceiling fan just came on as well. So what I've done is I've set a IFTT, if this then that, recipe. So anytime that I'm in bed, I always sleep with a ceiling fan on. Always. And so what I wanted to do was just kind of automate that process. And I always sleep with the ambiance of my fireplace on. I just like the way it looks when I'm sleeping. I don't know. It's one of those things we do. You know, like I listen to Pink Noise, and sometimes I'll put on Thunderstorm, or I'll use the Google Home to play, hey Google, play fireplace sounds.
Here's the sound of a fireplace.
So I don't know if you can hear that. So I don't know, it's just kind of cool. It just helps to give you the ambiance and the feeling of a real fireplace in here. So hey Google, stop. Alright, so there's that. And so what I've done here is anytime that I get in bed to, you know, whether it be to watch a movie or to go to bed, I always want the ceiling fan and the fireplace on. So what I did is I set a recipe with IFTT, if this then that anytime that the fireplace is turned on, it'll automatically 1 second later turn on the ceiling fan. So I only have to give one command rather than two. Now when I turn them off, I have to turn them off separately because I don't want them to turn off. You know, sometimes I want one on and not the other one on. For instance, like if the room's pretty hot, middle of the day, I'm not in here, I want the ceiling fan on. So I'm just going to say now, hey Google, turn off the bedroom fireplace.
Sure, turning off the bedroom fireplace.
Hey Google, turn off the bedroom fan.
You got it, turning off the bedroom fan.
And the fan turns off. I can say, hey Google, turn off the headboard.
Okay, turning off the headboard lights.
Hey Google, turn on the headboard lights.
Okay.
So there you go. So you have a few different things in the room that are on voice command. The other cool thing about this particular device I want to show you next, the Foobot, is that this thing you can use IFTTT with this device to set recipes as well. So what I've done is I've set this device, and then you'll notice previously it communicates with the Echo Dot as well, but all it does is really just give you the air quality. So let's just go ahead and demonstrate that. Alexa, what's the air quality like in my bedroom? Oh, Alexa, ask Foobot the air quality.
Air quality is great.
So very minimal on what you can do with that particular skill by the Echo or her, you know. But you can turn off the LEDs, which is nice because when I'm going to bed, they're kind of bright. I don't want those on. I can ask her to turn those off. I can ask her for the air quality as well. And with the Foobot, what's cool about this, and I'm going to be doing another set of videos in the not too distant future, what this device can do, or some extra things this device can do. What I have this thing set for, because it's in my bedroom and there's a thermostat downstairs, this device will actually can communicate if I wanted to with the thermostat. Now, the thermostat already has. My house isn't really big. It's not a huge house, so I don't really need the ability to, I guess, equalize the temperature perfectly, because it always does kind of equalize based on how I have the vents kind of, adjusted. But what will happen here is in the event, and I made a recipe that if this device right here detects temperatures of 78 degrees, what will happen is, I will get a notification that the bedroom temperature is of 78 degrees, and it'll kick on the ceiling fan to circulate the air, which is pretty awesome. So I'm actually going to try to do something where actually, if I get my hands on a air filter, I'm going to set an air filter behind the chair there, and in the event that the particulate matter, I think it's called, or the dust in the room gets too high, it'll kick on the air purifier as well. You could also set that the same thing to turn on the fireplace if you wanted to. I don't like to have things on that can potentially be a hazard, so I always have the heating element off. But you can do that if you want with the if that's then that recipe builder, so which is pretty cool. Also, you can set timers. So what I have set right now is when I get up in the morning, what will happen is before my alarm clock goes off, in 10 minutes, these side table lights will, through LifeX, will actually warm up to 20% brightness to slowly wake me. Once they're at full brightness, before my alarm clock goes off, about 1 minute before, the headboard light, the LEDs will come on. And of course, after that, the ceiling fan will come off, will automatically turn off as I'm getting out of bed. Then, about a minute later, the bathroom light that I showed you will come on. The fireplace will turn off, and the office light where I go get my clothes will actually come on as well. When I leave, about 20 minutes later, all that stuff will kick off. The bathroom light, the office, the headboard light, the lamps will stay on until the sun rises. And of course, yeah, that's about it. So pretty cool. So my whole morning is actually automated, so I no longer have to give the commands, the codes. Same thing, just like this bedroom light. I also have this set for different days of the week. So on work days, this is going to come on at sunrise, the end table lights and the headboard light. When I go to bed, it's automatically going to turn off. So I've automated all these different devices in my bedroom to just do their thing, which is really, really awesome. Pretty cool, I'd say. So that's about it, guys. Oh, and then the final thing I have here, that I think every home should have, is these new lights that I reviewed the other day by Safe Lumen. You can't really see them there, but what they are is basically they're a smart light, a different kind of smart light, and they function just like a standard LED light with a switch. What happens is, in the event of a power failure, this particular light will detect. Now, if the lamp is off, it's not going to come on. But let's say the lamp is on, okay? If the lamp is on and it detects a power failure, not by just not having power anymore, but by not actually, it can detect whether there's any kind of load on the entire house electrical system, it'll turn on into power failure mode. Now, I can't demonstrate that by unplugging it because it'll just stay off. But what happens is it'll detect it, and like I said, if the lamp is off, it's not going to come on. Nothing's going to change, even if the power fails. Let's say the lamp is on. If the power were to go out right now, this lamp will determine that you want to have the light on naturally because it's on, and it'll determine if there's a power failure, and it'll go into its battery operational mode, which is a dimmer version of the LED. It's dimmer, but it gives you plenty of light to still be able to use, walk around your room, your house. Basically, it's a power failure outage bulb, a smart bulb. And then once the power is out, now if you were to have the power out and disconnect the power cord, it'll just turn off because it thinks that there's power still. It's not how it works. It has to be plugged in, sense that the circuit has no power, if there has been a failure, and it'll go into battery mode. And then you get up to 3 hours of battery life on that LED. And what's cool is if your power's still out, you can conserve the power by turning off the lamp. Now, of course, if the power would go out right now, the light wouldn't come on until I turned it on. If I did turn on the switch, even with no power to the system, it'll be on its battery backup, which again will last up to 3 hours. So that's about it for my smart bedroom. Not tons of stuff, but there's not really tons of stuff you really need in your bedroom. I think I have the basics, the lighting, pretty much all the components in here are on some kind of smart system. Again, television, you could get, I actually have coming in the mail a Broadlink Wi-Fi remote that will learn codes, and I could actually set that also to turn the TV on with a voice command. But for me, I got the remote next to the bed. It's not really, there's kind of a limit to how much you really need to do, where you're just really just doing it for cool factor. So, which is, I guess kind of why we all do things. So that's about it, guys. I really thank you guys for watching the channel. Tell me what you guys think about the video. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, I'm more than happy to help you out, try to answer those questions. Remember to subscribe to the channel. And as always, folks, have a wonderful day. Take care.